don't think that shit turns her on a different level. That fat, rich titty boy, he can't do none of that shit. She might be impressed, but that shit don't get her wet. And that's why I say that physique turns her to a freak, because you make that woman feel weightless. Now, some of y'all boys got them big backs. You know, you got a big back, you lift her up, you might goddamn get a goddamn hernia. You know, you gotta be, some of y'all like them big back, beluga back wheels, y'all boys gotta be careful. Y'all gotta do a little warm up before you lift your chick up. But even in big backs, I bet you pick up the one of them big back chicks, she gonna be eyes wider than a because she ain't never been picked up like that. Body game is so much more than looks. And I feel like a lot of guys fail to realize this. Because I always see a guy in the comment section like, oh, Cole, that's so shallow. You look good, she looks good. Okay, that's cool, but what are y'all going to talk about, Cole? You just focus on the looks. It's not that important. That's so shallow. I say, no, I don't think that is shallow. I think that's human nature. If you think humans are shallow creatures, so be it. But there's nothing wrong with her wanting a guy that's in shape, a guy that looks disciplined, a guy that can take care of himself, a guy that looks like he can protect her. She don't just want a protector and a provider. She wants to have a man that looks like a goddamn protector. She wants to be with a man that he look like he can give her the business. So a lot of you guys, you got titties, you got this gut hanging over your meat, and you think she's supposed to look at you and be like, oh my God, I can't wait. Like she's supposed to be excited to hop in bed with you. You got to be real with yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself. And so I don't think that's shallow at all, but I think the benefits of body game, the smallest benefit is looking good. Now, we might talk about it a lot. It might be kind of entertaining. You know, you might get a couple women just throw themselves at you because you look good. But it overlaps in everything else. And I remember one guy, he was saying, you know, body game's low status. That just shows you have a whole bunch of free time and you should be putting that time towards your money. And I see so many guys online that their whole life is about money. A lot of people live that way. And I'm not saying money's not important, but I'm saying a lot of guys make everything about the money. And they fail to realize that even the guy with the most money, he's not the most attractive. He doesn't get the most women. And even when I looked at it, the average fit guy makes more money than the average obese guy. So when I see the guy saying, oh, that's low status, that's not low status at all. She wants a healthy man. The same way with a lot of guys, we want a healthy woman. We don't want a big saggy stomach. We don't want these flappy arms, you know. We don't want you when you're walking, your arms twerking. We don't want that. Let's be honest. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, I understand, you know, some women, after they have their kid, they got a whole bunch of loose skin and stuff like that. It is what it is. But if you ain't got a kid in you, or if you never had a kid in you, like, I'm not expecting all this extra meat. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's in your human nature. But a lot of you guys will get mad at the truth. You run from the truth. You look for all these excuses to not get in the gym, to not get your body together. You'll say, oh, that's low status. My brother, stop coping. Like I said, when I looked into it, the average guy that's fit makes more money than the average guy that's obese. And then on top of that, the guys that work out and do some type of weight training on a regular basis every week, they have 20 to 30% higher testosterone. We all know what testosterone does. It gives you that energy. It brings that masculinity out of you. That's why you see a lot of people injecting it nowadays. Now, I'm not for the injecting it unless you like really need it. Or if you're like super old, I'm kind of like, hey, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I'm kind of against when, I done seen guys early 20s and their teens trying to hop on tests. I think it's kind of silly. It's like your body's producing it. Why don't you just do stuff to maximize it naturally? You know, I think a lot of people, they just want that quick fix. We live in America, that microwave society. They all want to hop on tests. But a lot of these guys, they hop on tests because it gives them energy. It gives you more clarity. When you're obese, when you're sloppy, you got all this mind fog going on. You're not going to feel good. You always feel lazy and drowsy and you're just dragging through the day, waiting till the next meal. Then after you eat your meal, now you feel like just crashing. But a lot of guys will say, Cole, body game's not that important. Working out's not that important. You believe in the bullshit they tell you. But I promise you, man, once you get on body game and you see the results, there's no going back. It's no going back. And that's why I never seen how some guys, Because I seen this many times in the comment section too. Dudes like, man, I lost weight, but then I gained it all back. I said, man, I don't see how y'all let yourself go like that. You know, a lot of guys, they try to go on extreme diets way too quick, or they go to the extremes and it's not sustainable for a long time, so it doesn't last. So always look for a diet that you can really stick to, something sustainable, you know? But I never understood that, man. Because the benefits of body game are so amazing. How could you just let that go? You know? It's like, even when I think about it, you know, I'm not saying the reason why women treat me good is all because of body game, but I know body game definitely plays a huge role. And like I said before, like, I done went on quite a few dates at the gym. Like, I done had first dates at the gym. And I know a lot of guys will be like, oh, that's stupid, that's silly. I'm like, look, if she flakes on me, I don't care. I got to get my workout in anyways. I like to talk in between sets anyways. Like, so it's like a win-win situation. If she can show up, cool. If she don't show up, I'm still going to get my workout in. That's how I always looked at it. And then I got a pump. You know, I'm looking good in the gym. The old gym I used to go to, I knew a whole bunch of people in there. So it's like everything was flowing. But one girl, I remember, man, this girl, I went on, I believe, 3 dates with her. She paid for every single day, everything. And she wouldn't let me pay. You know, and I'll try to pay. If you don't want me to pay, okay, I ain't gonna pressure you too much. You know, if you want to pay for your boy, hey, go ahead, do you. You know what I'm saying? Some guys are like, oh, Cole, you gonna put her in her masculine. Yeah, I don't give a shit about any of that. If you want to pay, I try to pay. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? She like, no, you can save your money. I'm like, okay, shout out to you. You know? And I went to her house one time and she had food ready for me. And I remember the first date with this girl was the gym. And I could just tell. I don't know. I feel like a lot of these women, they are like super into pull-ups. I don't know. A lot of chicks are impressed with pull-ups. This is what I've noticed. And I can do pretty heavy weighted pull-ups, man. And I remember, you know, we was hitting pull-ups because a lot of these chicks, they can't hit pull-ups or they might hit like 2 or 3 at tops. You know, I met a couple girls that could hit maybe like 8 pull-ups. Like, that's a girl that's really in that gym hitting that shit. Seriously, she can do like 8 or 10 pull-ups. Most chicks, they might get 1 or 2. If that. A lot of them gotta do assisted pull-ups. You know, so when a girl see me do like weighted pull-ups and I got like 2 plates on me, hell, I done did 3 plates before. And she like, damn, that's more weight than me. You know, cause this girl, she wasn't all that big. Might have been like 115 pounds, 110 pounds. I'm doing weighted pull-ups with the weight that she is. You don't think that goes in her head like, damn, this man can manhandle me? I done picked some chicks up like that. You don't think that turns her on a different level when you can just pick her up like she's nothing? That's in her primal nature. Like, you could just dominate her easily. That turns her on. He's really that guy. He's really a protector. He could pick me up like nothing. I promise you, women get turned on by that type of shit, dog. She don't want that dude that you struggle to pick her up. You got all this extra weight on you. She don't get turned on by that. She don't get turned on by the tricking. I've seen it before, dog. I've seen it. And you can look on a girl's face when her dude try to pick her up and he can't. Dog, I promise you, these girls, that's one of the things I realized. If you could pick a girl up with ease, boy, she turned on. She turned on by that. I promise you. Women love that type of shit. They might not say it, but women love that type of shit when you can just manhandle her like she's nothing. You can pick her up like she's nothing. So when it comes to attraction, it's super important. But a lot of guys, they'll think, oh, this skinny, scrawny guy, he gets girls. Okay, cool. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Like, everybody got their own lane. I'm not saying you got to be super jacked, you got to be super ripped. But I say, look, man, it's the foundation. Because when you get in that gym, when you have a discipline, they already think highly of you. A lot of women are attracted to muscles. Then, like I said, you might be in a situation, y'all might be goofing around, playing around. You know, a lot of these girls, they like to play fight and stuff like that. You pick up like she's nothing. You don't think that shit turns her on a different level. That fat, rich titty boy, he can't do none of that shit. She might be impressed, but that shit don't get her wet. And that's why I say that physique turns her to a freak. Because you make that woman feel weightless. Now, some of y'all boys got them big backs. You know, you got a big back, you lift her up, you might goddamn get a goddamn hernia. You know, you gotta be, some of y'all like them big back, beluga back wheels, y'all boys gotta be careful. Y'all gotta do a little warm up before you lift your chick up. But even in big bags, I bet you pick up the one of them big bag chicks, she gonna be eyes wider than a bitch because she ain't never been picked up like that. She ain't never been picked up like that before, so she really gonna be turned on by that shit. Now she gonna be scared as hell because she ain't never been off the ground that long. And like I said, you gotta be careful. Don't hurt your goddamn back trying to be goddamn Superman. Because if you lifting up one of them, you goddamn Superman, my boy. You better be on some powerlifting shit. You want to lift one of them up. But dog, body game will overlap everything in your life. It will give you more energy. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. You think you're gonna treat yourself bad and then the business is gonna be doing amazing? A lot of times it's not like that. Everything overlaps. Like I say, faith, fitness, freedom, and fellowship. And fitness overlaps with all of those. When you get in the gym and you feel good about yourself, it's easier to have faith in yourself. You're like, okay, I remember that day when I was scared to go to the gym. Some guys have the fear of going to the gym. I understand that. You know, I've never been through that, but I understand some guys, like I've talked to people, they're like, man, it's kind of scary, like going to the gym. You don't know nobody. I feel like people looking at me. I'm like, dog, throw on a hoodie, put the hoodie up. If you really scared of people judging you, throw on a big hoodie, throw your hoodie up. Throw some headphones on, get in your own little lane. So when it comes to faith, you got to do stuff that scares you. That's going to improve your life. You look better. You look yourself in the mirror. Now you're like proud. You're not like trying to hide your titties all the time. You're not worried about your shirt popping up because your gut going to be hanging out. You're not worried about that shit anymore. So it's going to improve that faith. And then, of course, you know, fitness. And then you go to freedom. Being on body game is going to give you freedom. Because a lot of people become enslaved to all these medications. They become enslaved to all the addictions. You got to go to that fast food joint. You always looking for that dopamine. You always looking for all that sugar, all that chemicals in the food that make you addicted. You become enslaved to McDonald's. You spend all your money at the fast food places. You become enslaved to all these medications. A lot of people that are obese, they have bad mental health too. So then you start thinking about, oh, let me take this antidepressant. Now you're becoming enslaved to another thing. You can't move around and feel good. You do too much walking, your hips hurt, your feet hurt, everything hurts on you. You really can't move around the way you want to. And some of the really big guys, they don't even want to get on a plane because they get on that plane, everybody like, oh, I hope you don't sit by me, big back ass. They looking at you funny. You don't want to be in the car too much because you goddamn uncomfortable in the car. You don't want to go out too much because you always feel like people looking at you. Them really big guys. So now it's taking away your freedom. And last but not least, fellowship. I've met some of the best people at the gym. You will meet some great people at the gym. And if you really going to, I'll really say it depends on what gym you go to. Because the gym you go to definitely plays a role. But just getting active. You know, like you could join a run club, join an MMA gym, join a jiu-jitsu gym, join a boxing gym, whatever. Those would be some of the best people you meet, dog. Because even when I used to go to boxing, it was like, anytime I went there, it was always positivity. They want to see you keep showing up. They want you to succeed. So you can find that fellowship in the body game. You know, and I think that's what people fail to realize, dog. It's all connected. Live a long, happy, healthy life. Like, fitness is crucial. You know, they say the biggest indicator of longevity is grip strength. Who you think got the best grip strength? The guys that work out or the guys that just try to make money 24/7? Their life is all about money. Their life is all about some green pieces of paper. Their lives are all about this number in their account. And I'm not saying money's not important. But I'm saying a lot of these guys that say, oh, body game, it's not that important. They never been on body game. No, you never had a woman want to just sleep with you off the way you're built. And you never will have that because your mindset's fucked up. You have a loser mindset. When you get on body game, your mindset will start to change. Especially when you start your day with working out and fitness. You get that small win. You like, then you start looking at everything else. Okay, I won this morning. What else can I win at? Then you start making the proper, appropriate decisions for your life. that's when you really winning. That's when you're going to really see that improvement. That's when you're going to feel good about yourself. That's when you're not going to care about what everybody thinks about you as much. When you start putting yourself first. When you start caring about yourself and say, what is the best thing for me? You take a couple steps back, stop being in your feelings, stop getting swayed by your emotions all the time. What's the best thing for me? You stop worrying about, oh, this person going to be looking at me at the gym. No, what do I need to do? What's going to improve my life? What's going to make me satisfied with myself? What's going to make me happy to be me? Because we got way too many people out here trying to be somebody else, wishing they were somebody else. You should be happy to be you. Like I said, a lot of guys, they'll cope. They'll blame other people. They'll have this black pill mindset. Then the other guys, they're going to get right, dog. Like, what y'all expect, dog? Y'all got these big ass titties on your chest and you expect your woman to get turned on and always want to sleep with you and all this other stuff. Like, why would she want that? I'm not saying everything about, getting on is physical and appearance, but that's a huge part of it. You should be working on that body that can, if you got a long-term lady, like, she should be able to still get turned on by looking at you. And vice versa. Y'all should be wanting to stay in shape, to look good for each other, and to be healthy. But you got these big titties on you. She questioning herself if she bisexual. Cause she keep looking at your titties. She might as well pop one in her mouth and start sucking on your titties. Y'all got to be real with y'allself, man. A lot of guys are lying to themselves. They'll cope. Body game is so important because it overlaps. You're gonna have more faith in yourself when you're on body game. You're gonna have more freedom when you're on body game, and you're gonna have better, meaningful connections in your life when you get on body game. Now, can anything in life be taken to extreme where it's not good? Absolutely. And this is what a lot of people try to do. They always try to argue. They always try to disagree. So they'd be like, oh, no, I know this Juice head in my gym that takes a whole bunch of gear and he has no friends. It's like, well, that's an extreme example. But live a healthy life. Prioritize your fitness, dog. Because it's going to help in every other aspect of your life. It's going to help with dating. It's going to help with your faith in yourself. It's going to help you in that bedroom. You're going to have better blood flow. And it's going to help with meaningful relationships. Anytime I've been going through some shit, I just start hitting that gym a little harder. Yeah, I just hit that gym a little harder. Anytime I'm feeling down and went through a breakup, struggling with money, whatever it may be, dog, I just go to that gym. I just hit that gym, turn my headphones on, play a little playlist that really get me in that mode. Then I come home, crash. And then that next day I wake up feeling like a new man, dog. And one thing I love the feeling of leaving the gym, dog. Hitting the sauna, hitting a good workout, like that feeling gets almost addicting. For me, like, looking good is just a byproduct. Like, that's not even the biggest benefit to me. The biggest benefit is how it makes me feel and the faith it put in myself. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. Body game is so much more than just the looks. It will change your mindset. It will make you a better man. How are you a real man? How like, this is what I don't get. How are you a real man? You think so highly of yourself, but you got titties. You look down, you can't see your meat. You're looking at your gut. But you feel like you this strong, real man. Oh, she want a protector. You don't think she want a man that looks like a protector? Stop lying to yourself. Stop coping. You got to put in the work. I know there's a whole bunch of distractions. There's a whole bunch of bullshit. We got all these fast food places in your face 24/7. You got all these ads. I understand, my brother. But you can overcome that. But that's all I got for y'all today. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you haven't. And I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.